everybody? It's Doc Green, the Road Scholar, coming back at you. If you watched my last video, you know that I am getting my trucking authority, my own authority. Part of that is getting insurance. And it is funny, whenever you file your DOT number, to get your DOT number, which is free, then you file to get your MC number. Once you file to get your MC number, all the records that you filled out are public information. So it goes out to hundreds of insurance companies and factoring groups and insurance factoring and fuel card groups and everything else. So they start calling you and leaving you text messages constantly, and I wish I had time to answer them all. I do not. I still work for a living, still driving. So what I did, maybe this will help some of you out, I do not have time to sit there and call all these back. But I do want, here's the thing. We all want the best deal possible. So we should get as many quotes as possible. A lot of people say just get 3 quotes and whatever. I get as many as I possibly can. Because so far, I'm ranging anywhere from, some say as low as $2,500 down, all the way, or $2,900 down, all the way up to $6,000 down. Some even more than that. So I want the best quote. Here's how I did it. I went into my notes section after the first couple of calls. I now know the information they want. Name, Social Security number, name, DOT number, MC number, truck, what kind of truck year, truck model, VIN number, what kind of freight you're going to be hauling. Are you intrastate or interstate, meaning do you travel within your state or do you go across state lines? What kind of cargo do you haul? How many things are on your motor vehicle report? All of this kind of information. I could put up, I don't know, probably won't do that. But anyway, I start saying I'll put up a link of all the questions they asked, but probably won't. They need your home address. They need your address where your truck's going to be parked at. Things like that. So what I did is I went into my notes section and put all the information they want down, copied it, and everyone that texted me about insurance quotes, I copied, paste, sent it back to them. I understand why they're texting me, because most of the time when they call, I'm not going to answer. I'm driving down the road, my headset will be somewhere else, and I don't feel like answering 100 calls a day. So I appreciate the one guys that text me about it. A few have even emailed me, and I will get an email copy and get all the information on there and send it back to them. But it makes it a lot easier on them to reach as many truck drivers as they can without getting on the phone and taking time and wasting their time to get a bunch of no answers or hang-ups or things like that. And it saves me time from not having to answer everyone individually. I just copy, paste, and send it back to them. Here's what I will say when it comes to truckers insurance. I want the best quote, because here's what I hear from a lot of them. But a few I talked on the phone. Every one of them told me the same thing. We offer the lowest price insurance. Mostly because they represent the 3 biggest companies. Some of them represent maybe more, but they represent 3 biggest companies that offer insurance to new truck drivers. So they're all should be offering about the same rate, but some of them would offer like a lot larger quote because they add in all kinds of things like truck. If your good truck goes down at the shop, we'll give you $200 a day towards a rental towards a new truck. You want the roll over the cliff in rainy weather. I mean, it's all kinds of extra things that, as a new company, you may not be able to afford. So what I did is I put the basics that I want. You know, the collision, general liability of $1 million, and cargo insurance of $100,000. I also put on there that I want a separate quote for UIIA because I may do intermodal and port work. I'm not really to that decision of deciding which one I want to do, or I may do both. Never hurts to be able to go to the rail if you need to. So anyway, I want to quote on both of those, you know, just regular insurance and the UIIA insurance to be added because it's a different type of insurance. I sent this off to them. This should make it easier for them to respond. The ones that respond, great and everything, I got their quotes. The ones that don't respond, if you sent me a text and you were expecting me to call you, that's not how it works. I'm not gonna spend my time calling all these insurance companies back, just like you're not going to spend your time calling truck drivers. Instead, you send a text. I send a text to everyone. Y'all can all give me my quotes. I want the best quote possible. So what I do is I send it out. I tell them I want the best quote possible. If they start sending me, well, I'll match anybody else's lower prices, then you're not giving me the best quote possible. The other guy did. So he gets my business. Whoever gives me the best quote for what I want and everything, that's the one getting my business. Not the guy who starts off at real high and then works his way down and says, call me up if anyone coming in with a better offer, call me up. Now, I do have one accident on my record. It was in my personal car. I was in a parking lot at a school, and a teacher backed into my car, and somehow they said it was my fault because a lot of teachers were out there. Of course, they're her friends. They all said I hit her car. So anyway, that's on my record. So my insurance, I put that on my MVR because otherwise they're going to ask you if they had any incidents or anything. That's the only thing on my record. No tickets, no anything like that. There's a huge difference in price between that one accident and no accidents. Okay? So when they call me up and they ask me, they give me a quote without knowing that accident was on there, it's a lot lower than it will be. So I be sure to put that in the text message. I said, this is my MVR. This is what I have on it. One accident, so they can run the quote. Because a lot of companies will call you up and they won't run the MVR. They'll give you a low number and everything. And when you call them back, they say, oh yeah, we'll work with you. As soon as you get through this long process with them, and also they come back, oh, well, you had this a couple of tickets or something, whatever. And it's going to cost you a little bit more money. Now, instead of starting the whole process over and start looking for another insurance company, at that point, a lot of drivers are just frustrated, whatever. A lot of company owners, they go, you know what, yeah, let's go ahead. What's it going to cost? Get tired of messing with it. So I put that in there from the beginning. So if they come back later on and they tell me, oh, well, we didn't see this, we didn't run your motor vehicle report, you didn't have to. I already told you about it. So if you try to raise my prices later on, boom, you're out the door. I'm moving to the next insurance company, the one that was honest, the one that did his job, the one that did the work and found that and ran it and seen it and put that in the quote for me. That's the guy I'm going with. I'm not going with the one who just types things in there and skips over that part to give me a low number so he can try to raise me up and move me up to a different level the next time. Not doing that. First of all, you just showed me you were either one, lazy and didn't put it in there that I had something on my motor vehicle report, or number two, you lied to get me into the door, and if I can't trust you at this point, I can't trust you in the future either. Hope that makes sense to you guys. So if you're looking to get your MVR, this is one of the hurdles you got to go through, is your insurance. So just to recap what I have done so far with my company. I have filed for my LLC and got in. I have came back and got my EIN number right after that, Employment Identification Number from the IRS. The LLC in Texas costs me about $300. In some states it's as low as $200. In some states it goes up to $500, $600, $700, $800. Depending on what state you're in, you need to contact your Secretary of State, look at their filing fees, and find out how much it's going to cost you. In Texas, it was literally I think it was a 2-sheet form I had to fill out with information, submitted about $300, got my LLC back in about 24 to 48 hours, something like that, back through the email, even though they said it could take up to a week or two, came back to the email about 24 to 48 hours later. I immediately went to the IRS site and filed for my EIN number, Employment Identification Number, which is how federal taxes are handled for a company. Got that back. Now that one did take me a little bit longer, as I explained in my last video, because I have several other LLCs, so I had to actually send them a copy, wait for it to come back in the mail, all kinds of stuff like that. Got that back. The next thing I did is went onto the FMCSA website and filed for my DOT number. That's free. Your DOT number is free. If you are a new driver in this business and you think someday in the future you may want to own your own truck or your own company, file for your DOT number now. It's not going to hurt anything. It's free. Once I have my DOT number, I file for my, once I file for that, I also file for my motor carrier number. I did not know that, but I'd never filed for my DOT before. Been driving for 20 years. I knew I could get it free, just didn't understand the reason, but now it would have helped this process a little bit quicker. Now I got my, but then I filed for my motor carrier number, $300 with FMCSA. They said it would take about a week or two to get back, and then you got a 21-day wait, what they call a what do they call that? It's a period of time, a protest period, where people can, if you file for MC number, someone can protest in case you've done something that they think violates FMCSA rules or whatever, and they can, something major. Well, And they said it'd be about a week before I got back. It was actually about 72 hours to have my MC number. But I did not even know. They didn't even send me an email to tell me I had my FMCSA. You know how I found out? One of these insurance companies sent me an email. It says, congratulations on your new MC number. And I went, I don't have an MC number. But I noticed the other insurance companies didn't really say it. They said DOT number. But this one said MC number. So I went online and checked it. And sure enough, it was already back. I'm sure the other insurance companies knew that, but I didn't. So anyway, I got my MC number, right? Then I went online and found out I needed to file a BOC3, blanket coverage. What a BOC3 means is you need an agent. The FMCSA says you need an agent in all 50 states or 48 states that you can be served, and maybe 50, I don't know. I know it covers wherever I'm driving. And you can get BOC3s that only cover the states you drive in if you're only driving in your one state, or maybe, you know, a couple of states you can get a BOC3 to cover them. But for like, I think it's like $60, $50, something like that, I went ahead and got all CONUS covered. But the FCSA says you got to have that, so if anyone wants to send you legal papers, they can send it to your agent in one of those states, and they can look it up, who your agent is and everything through the FMCSA. So I did that, filed my BOC3. Then I went out here and the state of Texas let me know I have to get a DMV number, Texas DOT number from the DMV. So I did that. I think that cost me, it wasn't very much. May have even been free. No, it wasn't free. I don't think it was free. I got it written down on my records. I'm just not looking at them right now. But I got my Texas DOT number because they noticed I had an MC number, said I had to file for that. Then I got the UCR, Unified Carrier Registration. Every truck driver that's doing carrying merchandise out here has to be a part of the Unified Carrier Registration. Here's the funny part. I did not know this either. Not every state works with the UCR, Unified Carrier Registration number. They're not part of it. But that doesn't mean you don't have to have it because you live in that state. You have to get the UCR in the state closest to you that does work with the UCR. So just because your state doesn't do it doesn't mean you're exempt to get it. Yeah, I say that, but no, you still got to get it. You just got to get the state closest to you. So anyway, I got my UCR number. All of this stuff has been happening over the last week. It's really not taking as much time as I had thought. That part is pretty easy. I mean, once because they'll start sending you stuff and telling you what you have to do. Like right now, I still got to sign up for a Drug and Alcohol Consortium. That's a place that I can do their company or consortium that they will regulate my random drug tests. So whenever they call, say you gotta go somewhere, and I make sure I got one that was nationwide, so I could stop anywhere. Most of them, I believe, are. I also got my, because last thing you want to do is get. They have to be. I mean, I guess they have to be. But I still got to get that. I still have to file my 2290. I still have to file my IFTA. I still have to file for my IPT or interstate or portion plates. I still have to. There's still some other things that I have to do. I have to get another physical when I start my company because, you know, like anytime you go to work for a new company, you got to go get a physical. Your medical card may or may not transfer over. I'm not taking any chances. It doesn't cost me, what, $100 to go get a physical, getting that done. Then you have to keep all of these in a file. Just because you're the owner of the company doesn't mean you don't have to give yourself physical. That's DOT regulations. So you got to do that. You got to take a drug test for your own company. And you got to have all that paperwork in place and everything before you start driving. Now, the only things you really have to have before you go active with your MC number is a BOC3, MC number, of course, DOT number, of course, Unified Carrier Registration, your state's DOT number if they have one, and insurance. That's when your number goes active. But before you can drive, you need the 2290, the Porsche, or whatever plate you're getting. I'm getting a Porsche plates. You need your IFTA. You need all that stuff before you can start driving. And I'm going to do another video more in depth on what you will need as you go along. The thing is, all of this stuff is going to add up to a lot of money. I mean, just the insurance, and the registration, everything, you're looking at several thousands of dollars, close to $10,000 by the time you get the down payment. And you're, if the down payment was like $3,000, and then you're $300 for this, $600 for that, $300 for this, $500 for $2,290. By the time you're done with all that, you're looking at several thousands of dollars. My truck will not be paid off until, for about another 3.5 months. The thing is, I'm in the process of getting all this paperwork done and in place, so that when I get to the point where all my paperwork is in place, I can pay off my truck the next day, take these stickers off, put my stickers on, and get to rolling. That's what you can do. You don't have to wait till the last minute, because if you do, you're going to be like, I'm going to wait till my truck is paid off, then I'm going to get my MC number, then I'm going to get this, then you're looking at being out another, at least minimum 3 weeks, because that's how long they're going to, or 4 weeks, because it takes a couple days to get your MC number back, and then it's going to take 3 weeks of the I just said it. Protest period for your MC number, minimum. That's minimum. Now, then you also have to get set up with brokerages and things like that, and you need to find companies that will work with new drivers. Most of them won't. Most of them require 3 to 6 months, 9 months, some a year, some a year and a half. A couple of them out here require 3 years of experience before they'll work with you. So you need to find out which companies will work with you. Which brokerages. All of this stuff I'm doing now. And I'm building up a relationship, talking to these brokerages and everything, finding out what their requirements are, and I'm writing it all down, so when I do go active, I can send them my certificate of insurance, I can send them my trucking information, my driver's license, whatever they need, a copy of my check in case I need to get factored or something through them, and I'll explain all what factoring is and everything in a different video. Most of you already know. But all that stuff will be in a file, ready to go, so the day I'm ready, a couple of days before I'm ready to run, or maybe the day I pay off my truck, I'll go home and I will start sending that to these different brokerages so I can start working with them. Or whichever ones work mostly in my area or who are doing what I want to do at that time, and I will be set up with them. Now, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here because it was really just supposed to be about insurance, but I'm kind of excited, so I get to talking about all these other things. But I just wanted y'all guys to know that insurance quotes, how much they can range, and what to look out for, and go from there. Make your own decisions about who you want to choose and everything, but make sure that you're giving them the MVR report from the beginning, because otherwise they're going to give you a lower quote. If you have an accident or a ticket or anything, it's going to show up and it's going to double your insurance. If it doubled my insurance, could I still afford to drive out here? Yeah, I can. I already know what mine is higher because of that one accident, and that accident won't fall off my record until I think May of next year. So my insurance is going to be higher than someone who has a completely clean, scrub clean MVR. I'm okay with that. I calculated that into my expenses and everything. So, but what I don't want again, if the insurance company lowballs me and then comes back to me later on and says, "Oh, we found this," after I've already sent it to them that I have that, then I'm not working with that insurance company. I'm not working with somebody that is lazy. I had this one insurance company, this guy called me, his name is Glenn, and I will give you more of his information on the next video probably, because he was the first one to ask me about my MVR. And at first, I completely forgot about the accident. He came back, he says, "Mr. Green, we have bad news. You had an accident." I was like, not me. I completely forgot about it. Really, honest to God, forgot about it. My wife, when I told her how much the insurance was, because he said I had this, so I need to, get a copy of my MVR to show this isn't me. And she goes, "Don't you remember you had that accident in that parking lot? That was about that time." Oh, he was right. Oh, so yeah, he was correct. But because he's already started doing his due diligence and everything, and we probably going to end up, I'm not saying we're going to go with him. But right now, because of his honesty, he didn't, and he told Mr. Green, "I'm sorry about this." And he was very professional the entire time and everything. And so at this moment, we're looking at going with him because he's the first one so far that ran my MVR. They even asked me about the MVR. The other companies that asked me about my information and everything, they didn't run my MVR before they ran the quotes. which it may cost them a little bit more money to do that. I don't know, but I think they should have done that because, like me, I completely forgot about my accident. So that one they quoted me at like $2,000, I know that's going to go up. But I don't appreciate the fact that he ran all these numbers, gave me all these numbers and everything. I go, wow, that's really low. Yes, sir, because you got a clean, you'd have no accidents or anything like that. Been driving over 20 years. I was like, really great. But I completely forgot about my accident. He didn't even take the time to run the MVR yet. But here's the problem. When he goes to underwrite me with one of these other companies, they will run the MVR. They don't come back, oh, you didn't tell me about this. First of all, you're going to make me look bad or make me feel bad because I forgot about it. Or it's going to make me look bad like I was trying to hide it, which I wasn't. I really completely forgot. So from now on, every time I send them something, I send an accident with it so they know to look it up. If a company comes back and they say they got these numbers, I call them up, I like it, and then they go, oh, but we didn't know. No, you knew. You were too lazy to run it, and you didn't put it in, and you gave me bad numbers. I'm not working with you. Dishonest. And a lot of people look at me and go, well, he probably thought I was being dishonest because I forgot about that accident. Right. So run the MVR before you give a quote. I do look dishonest. I don't like looking dishonest because I'm not trying to be. But it probably does make me look bad. It's like, oh, he tried to cover it like someone could forget about an accident. Yeah, you really can. It was a little bitty. Never mind what it was. But anyway, so that's what's happening with me so far, guys. Wish you the best. If you're a company driver, I wish you the best out here. If you're a lease purchase driver, you can still make it out here. You would probably do better as a company driver right now. You know what? That's a video for a different one. Guys, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell notification. You want to keep up with me on my journey to get my authority, and I will let y'all know what I'm doing as I'm going along. Appreciate it. You have a good one.